Hubert
Hubert
Davis?
Davis.
Did they already let him go, or it's just a foregone conclusion that he's gone?
I'm saying he probably ain't got much time there.
Okay,
I think
and
they want to win.
I'm tapped in with, obviously, I went to school in North Carolina. A lot of my boys are Carolina fans. That's the sentiment amongst Carolina fans. Get his ass out of here. But when we look at that game, it was a 2-point game in overtime. A dude gets fouled and his basket rims out.
Yeah,
If he makes the basket, it's a tie game. He's going to get the and one, right? And with no pressure, because the worst case scenario, we probably playing for double OT.
hey man,
Instead, you at the line and you're down two, and we need both.
these are the breaks.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm
Like,
I mean,
That
the other thing, and Hubert Davis isn't going to get a pass for this, but their
your
number
star
one
player
player is
is
yeah,
down.
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's bad timing for that to happen for the player, for Caleb Wilson for sure, but also for Hubert Davis
yeah.
because listen, when he had Caleb Love, they went to the
They went to the finals.
finals. I thought
Yeah,
and,
they
and
lost to
lost,
Kansas.
right?
They
They
lost to
lost,
Kansas. Yeah.
right? So had he won that,
He
then
would
you
have bought
wouldn't
him
be
some
having
paper.
this type of conversation,
I want to say that was like his first year coaching. It was either,
right?
yeah, it was like his
But
first year.
but this is what I'm saying. It's not that he's not successful. What it is they're like Michigan football, where it's like, damn,
The
we need
expectation.
we need to win the national championship. Like, Harbaugh was there and they were talking about hot seat for him because it was okay, well, he's got to beat Ohio State. Then when that
Every year.
happens, it's like, yeah, exactly. But then when that's like, okay, you got to win a national championship now. It's like they want more. They expect, listen, if we ain't winning the natty, like, we got to find somebody who can get us there.
Yeah.
And that's the situation he's going to be in North Carolina because they want to win a national championship.
Well, I mean, not only that, so your first year you essentially overachieve, right? Some of those players on roster, you could say that weren't your players; they were Roy Williams players.
Well,
Then you get your player, you start getting your players. We see how your recruits look. Last year, they had like they had like two 5-star recruits. Um, and they struggled to get into the tournament last year.
eh,
So it's like you've essentially you've been worse every year. Now this year they picked it up and they were better, but
right. But if
unfortunately,
I were to ask you overall, has Hubert Davis had success as a North Carolina basketball coach? Head men's basketball coach of North Carolina. I don't think of it's North Carolina. Has he had success as a coach? Is he
It's
losing? Is
no,
he
it,
he's not. But yeah, it's like he got to the national championship.
you
He
started off with you got
it's
to a
like
national
he is New
championship.
York Knicks Pat Riley.
it's a. I'll use an analogy that Marcellus Wiley always uses, and he talks about there's two different DNs. He's a defensive end in the NFL, and he says they both have 30 sacks over 3 years, except one started with 16 in year one, and then got injured and then had seven the next year and then had another seven the following year, and then there was another one that started with seven and probably worked their way up to eight, and in their third year they got 15. And it's like you're going to look at the one that had 16, 7, 7, and you're going to say, oh, this motherfucker's production fell off. But then you're going to look
Right.
at the other guy and it's just like, yo, like, things happen. We don't care about injuries. If you were
Yeah.
injured and
Yeah.
your production dipped because of your circumstances or whatever, nobody cares. They're gonna look at the numbers and they're gonna say, because you started off so high, even though 7 sacks might not be a bad thing, it might be a good thing in year three. But we're judging you based off of, damn, you started off at 16.
Well,
So
see,
that's what
well, huh?
you were. Hubert Davis is dealing with right now.
But you know what I would add to your Hubert Davis, the comparison or the parallel you trying to draw with Hubert Davis, I would add to that, if he did not have the very first year and went to the championship, but did what KP is saying, he's gotten better. I think he'd be in even more of a hot seat because you didn't get to the tournament or you didn't go deep in your first year. Then you barely made it your second. Now you look a little better. Then you get knocked out in the first round. I mean, shit. The saving grace would be that you went that far in the first year.
Go ahead, KP.
I was just gonna say the only thing with looking at it is how many coaches can North Carolina get right now that can put them over the hump?
And I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm just saying that I don't think Hubert Davis is terrible. I don't think he's bad. I think if you give him more time, he'd probably have some deep tournament runs, but he's at an institution that's probably not going to allow the time. And it's no shot at him. It's just where you are. Like, and it's well, let me say one more thing. And I know that's where he went to school and that's his alma mater and all of that stuff. But man, if you would have gone to, TSU or anywhere else like that, they will give you all the time in the world. And some of you guys, prominent players who, went and played in the pros and all these things, you'd be having a even greater impact at an HBCU or a smaller school like that versus what you're doing when you get caught up in the mix in these Power Fives and it's 2 years and it's on to the next one.
Absolutely. And let me just piggyback off of what you said. When you get a guy like Hubert Davis or one of these guys that are associated with bigger programs, have been professionals, and they go to these small schools, the small schools oftentimes have the talent. They might have a kid that can't get the grades or just can't get right because he got drama that a Power 5 school don't have to deal with because they can get someone with a cleaner record or cleaner basketball bill of health than you have, right? So when you come to these smaller schools, they really just need to be coached up. So
and
that's why
and supported.
Correct.
So you get the talent.
So you probably have some talent. But
right.
when you see these coaches go to those smaller schools, that's why it's like, oh man, they had a hell of a turnaround. No, this person just came with Power 5 pedigree and infused it into a small program. It's the Dion at Jackson State, or you could pick any of these NFL coaches in college college football, any of these NBA guys in the NCAA in college basketball. So